our guy over at Barstool, Chris Klim, known Met fan.
Right.
You know, Barstool, I'm actually wearing a Barstool shirt today. That was not intentional.
Not intentional.
Not intentional.
But it happened.
The Tiger Kings, because Notre Dame does own Clemson. Shout out to Clemson for giving us free win every year. But Chris Klim.
Yes.
Not a Red fan.
Not a Red fan.
Not sold on the boys.
Not a Red believer at all.
I don't know, man. That blows my mind. I think that here's the deal. If you want to tell me, he said on there that he thinks that the Marlins and the Reds played, that the Marlins would sweep the Reds with ease. I don't know if he said sweep, but he said beat them with ease.
Right.
He might have thrown sweep out there. I mean, come on. And he said if they play in the World Series. First of all, they can't play in the World Series. They played in the LCS against each other.
Yeah.
Give me the Reds in 4.
Yeah. So a lot of his argument was based around their starting pitching, which, granted, it hasn't been great this year, but there's also been some injuries. Lodolo out, great pitcher. Hunter Green can be great, obviously. There's been a couple starts from Hunter Green that haven't been so good, but you got 2 top of the rotation guys there who are out, won't be back until August. Ben Lively's shown a little bit. He had an injury, came back in his last start and was very good.
Pitched very well.
So the starting pitching is an issue as of right now, yes, but I think it very well could not be an issue by the time we get into late August and, we see these playoff races start to heat up a little bit. Hopefully the Reds will be, have a good significant lead by then. But I don't see how you can't look at this Reds team and not think that they are a true playoff contender at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it and say it's not going to last, that's fine if it's a week,
Right.
if it's 10 days, even give you the 15. But they've been doing this for 30 days, 29 actually.
Yeah.
22-7 since De La Cruz got called up, but you're saying that's not going to last. It's been working. And here's the thing. The pitching has been terrible through that, but you look at this. Graham Ashcraft's last 2 starts have been very well.
Yes.
They've been very good. He's given up 2 earned runs in the last 14 2/3 innings. I think Brandon Williamson's pitching fine the last few starts out. He's given up 2 to 3 runs a game, but the Reds all have an offense that can make up for that in the bullpen that's going to come in 7, 8, 9 that's going to shut the door. Maybe they give up a run, but the Reds can catch 4 runs. The offensive showing on Sunday where they didn't score at all, that's probably not
very
going to
rare.
happen.
It'd probably be very rare.
Plus, you mentioned Green and Lodolo coming back. The people that are saying, because he had commented this on one of the videos I've seen, that he thinks the Reds need to add 2 starting pitchers. They don't.
I don't think so, no.
Why would you, and this is something that I continue to bring up when people tell me that the Reds need to go get a starter. Do you want to be on the other end of a James Shields, Fernando Tatis deal?
Do you want to be on another? We have been on the good end of sending Tyler Malley and getting back Spencer Steer and Christian Encarnacion Strand. Do you want to be on the other end of something like that? No, absolutely
Dan
not.
Straley for Luis Castillo?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on the other end of that. I absolutely don't want to be on the other end of that. So why not? Listen, we've got an arm farm of guys in the minors right now that are going to be ready next year, if not the year after. And we've got a good enough offense to do it. And these guys we're in no rush right now because these guys, we've got control over these guys for the next 5 years max or minimum. So I don't agree with going out and trading for a starting pitcher right now, unless you can get him for really cheap and you're not going to give up a good prospect for him. If we got to give up Kevin Newman for a guy, be my guest. I'll do it. But if I got to give up any prospect, absolutely not.
No, right now, Ashcraft getting back to himself if he continues to pitch like that. Abbott, who had 1 bad start, but other than that has been very good. Lodolo when he comes back, Green when he comes back, Ben Lively if he continues to pitch that way. There's a 5-man rotation there that can be very good. And then you've got guys like Williamson and Weaver hasn't been good this year. He's always given up runs, but for some reason the Reds always win those games. So there's other guys and obviously the guys in the minors that you can bring up if some guy doesn't work out for some reason. But I think their rotation will be just fine, probably in the near future too.
Yeah, I think the Reds will win the division. I think they'll get to 90 wins.